It's around this time of year in Q4 that managers start their performance reviews. It's certainly kind of uneasy when you maybe dread the moment as you're continually comparing yourselves to other coworkers who may have gotten a promotion during the year or ended the year with more sales. Here to help us combat comparison and imposter syndrome is Dr. Lisa Orbe-Austin. Hey, Dr. Lisa, thanks for joining us.
Hi, Natalie. Thank you.
So it's not uncommon. A lot of places of work out there are under this underlining air of competition. You feel it when you go into the building, and many employees do as well. What is wrong with letting competitiveness drive your career as maybe, say, opposed to passion?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with enjoying competition as long as it's healthy competition and the competition has the ability to set up a dynamic where everyone has a chance to win, where when people win, they actually share their knowledge, they share their learning. The problem is when competition becomes toxic and people feel a sense of protectionism over the things that they know, that they don't necessarily set up factions. These become the unhealthy dynamics that set up a problem in competition in the workplace.
So what happens when we are constantly comparing ourselves to what we believe to, quote, be the most successful coworkers?
Oftentimes we are not necessarily considering context. So that person may have 10 years more experience than us. That person may have another advantage that we don't necessarily have. And I think what we do is we dismiss our own developmental process and the ways in which we need to learn and grow that are unique to us. And so when comparing yourself, you're really, even though it feels like someone who's in direct competition with you, you can be comparing apples and oranges, and you really just need to be thinking about your own development and growth.
And the end of the year review, as we discussed, it's about your performance. So let's say in this situation, you moved laterally this year and maybe not up in the ranks. How can we start seeing those movements as maybe just as valuable? Because a lot of people would argue the goal is up.
Yeah, the goal is totally up. However, in the course of a career and getting to the place we ultimately want to be in, it's not just straight up. Oftentimes it is lateral, sometimes it is downwards. And oftentimes those moves are purposeful, and hopefully they are. And you're getting an opportunity to be exposed to a new skill set, to a new opportunity that may have more long-term potential than your current opportunity. So there may be all kinds of reasons why a lateral move is better for you than a direct up move.
And then finally, of course, we love setting goals. That part is healthy. It can be a good thing. But in some cases, we're setting these very strict timelines that may have the opposite effect. Can you talk about the pitfalls and the traps if you are fixated on this timeline? Let's say in 5 years, I should be here. In 10 years, I should be here.
It often doesn't allow you to appreciate what's currently happening and really be able to admire and be proud of yourself for getting where you are in this moment. I think also too, what it does not recognize is the idea that, life happens. And when we make these goals, they're happening in a vacuum, and then life happens. And as a result of that, all kinds of timelines change. And so I think it's really important to be present and be able to be proud of what you have in this moment, and then also be able to recognize a goal as a shifting, iterative process. It's not necessarily an endpoint that should stay static, even if you set it and it feels like it's the ultimate goal.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. Lisa. Some very good insight. You guys can find her on social media at Dr. Orbe-Austin. Thanks again.
You're welcome.